Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. What a difference a day makes.
Boy, it's a beautiful fall day, though.
30 degrees cooler than it was yesterday.
It's nice and crisp,
yeah, I love it. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
We'll get to the weather in a minute, but first, here's what's making news on this Thursday. It is play ball for the Brewers and the Rockies, about to start Game 1 of the National League playoffs. We'll hear from Sports Director Jay Wilson and a live report from Amy Reed. She's at Miller Park in Milwaukee.
From Rock County, Adam Duxter reports on families looking for a place to live after a fire hits a Janesville apartment complex.
And in Washington, D.C., senators are going over the confidential FBI report on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
Let's take a look outside today. It's sweater weather, and that sunshine is really lighting up the colors,
Really crisp out there.
That's a beautiful shot.
That is a great shot. But the weather words, however, short-lived sunshine. Chris Reese is in the backyard weather patio enjoying this weather today, though.
That's right. I love that Susan said it is sweater weather. That's exactly what it is right now. We're going to continue to see that going at least through the rest of today. But enjoy that sunshine that we have out there now. Here's a live look outside, just showing you how crystal clear and blue it looks. Temperatures 38 degrees cooler than they were just 24 hours ago. What a cold front that came through yesterday and last night. We zoom out across the Midwest. Check out Fairmont, Minnesota. They are 41 degrees cooler. 41 degrees cooler. That is absolutely insane of a temperature drop there, but it does happen in the weather. We're at 54 degrees right now here in Madison. Most of us are in the 50s at this point, but as we zoom out, some folks just to our north, check out Eau Claire and Rylander. They're all in the upper 40s. Same goes all the way up towards Fargo, North Dakota. They're at 45 degrees right now, and the thing is, they were not held cool by cloud cover, folks. There's been a lot of sunshine out there, and we're still seeing that in the area right now with winds out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour. Now, there are clouds starting to increase from the west, along with some chances for some showers. You see that wintry mix kind of happening over southern and northern Dakota. That system as a whole is going to be working its way our direction, bringing with it some chances for rain, and it could mean heavy rain as well. So as we go Friday into Saturday, we do have an alert day in our forecast for flash flooding that is possible, along with the threat for some severe weather. Now let's go ahead and show you traffic as you guys are heading out. Here is the belt line at John Dolan. It is Thursday and the traffic is slow going in a lot of spots out there. So do be prepared for slowdowns in a lot of those typical spots as you continue to head home this afternoon. Downtown, we are seeing more of those brake lights continuing to show up as well, guys.
All right, we'll check back and get a complete forecast coming up in a few minutes. Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Chris. First at 4, we are just moments away now from the first pitch at Miller Park.
It's the Milwaukee Brewers versus the Colorado Rockies in Game 1 in the National League Division Series. And Sports Director Jay Wilson is in the sports office with what we can expect in this game this afternoon. Jay.
Well, we've been fortunate around here to be a part of Super Bowls and Final Fours and Rose Bowls the last couple of decades, and the energy of a baseball playoff game is on that same kind of level. This is the Brewers' first playoff appearance since 2011. They're getting ready to play the National League Division Series when the Colorado Rockies are at Miller Park. And first pitch is about 3 minutes away. 4:07 is the official start time today for Game 1. And the Brewers are going in a little different direction with their starting pitcher. They're going to go with reliever Brandon Woodruff. Now, usually, well, you start a starting pitcher, but Craig Counsell made it very clear earlier in this week that the starters can relieve, the relievers can start. So Woodruff probably maybe an inning or so, and then they'll go to a long line of relievers, and maybe sprinkle in a starter there as well. And Brandon Woodruff gets the start for the Brewers on the mound today as they try to find their way through this best-of-5 series. So you win 3 of the 5, you go to the next round, which is the National League Championship Series. So we'll keep you posted on how things are going a little bit later.
I understand only 7 of these guys have had playoff experience.
Yeah, but a couple of them, like Lorenzo Cain, won the World Series with the Kansas City Royals just a few years ago. So, you know, they've been in big games for the last month or so since they were so far behind the Cubs and came back. So, you know, it's probably more excitement than pressure.
Absolutely. All right, we'll get back with we'll get an update from you a little later.
The game's
Jay.
about to start, so thanks for watching the 4 and
Keep
enjoy
it
the
for
game.
us. All right, Jay, thanks.
Jay, thank you so much. Fans began arriving at Miller Park early today, full of optimism under the sunny blue skies.
Our Amy Reed is there and tells us what she found. Amy?
Yeah, we're hanging out outside of Miller Park. You can see fans are lined up there, very excited, and they are lined up all the way around the stadium. There's been some line of some sort since about 1 o'clock this afternoon when we showed up. The tailgate packed by 2. And now normally I'm told that there's just as much passion in the tailgate as there is inside. But today, for that first postseason appearance since 2011, that passion is being saved for the line and it's being saved for inside. Now, we caught up with some people in the tailgate this afternoon. They're here from all over Wisconsin. Very excited to see the Brewers play today. Coming up tonight at 5, we'll introduce you to a son who had a very special surprise for his dad, all in honor of playoff baseball. Back to you.
Oh no, it starts in 2 minutes. Look at the line.
They're still out there.
Yeah.
All right, Amy, we'll check back. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Felony charges have been dismissed against a Mount Horeb man accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman back in March. 50-year-old Matthew Levin was facing 4 felony charges. Court documents showed Levin offered a 25-year-old woman a ride home from a restaurant on Madison's east side in March. Police say instead, Levin drove her to an auto shop he owns in Monona and assaulted her. Documents show the woman convinced Levin to go to a gas station, and she was able to escape there. Dane County District Attorney Ismail Ozan explains why the case had to be dismissed.
We charged Mr. Levin with what we believe we can prove, and at this point, we believe we have proof issues with that case as charged, connected to the open case, which I just mentioned.
That open case he's referring to involves 31-year-old Corey Ivy. Documents show Ivy told Levin that if he paid him $50,000, Ivy would have the woman write a note saying the sexual assault and kidnapping incident was a mistake, and the woman wouldn't show up for court. Police later arrested Ivy when he showed up to get the money. A number of people in Janesville are looking for new places to live after an apartment fire last night.
The flames destroyed 4 units in a building on the city's northeast side. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter spoke to one of the residents today and joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with more. Adam?
Well, Susan and Mark, we've learned that last night's fire started outside and worked its way inside, and today it's left multiple families without a place to stay. Now, the fire was called in last night at around 8 p.m., and its cause is still under investigation. Today, crews worked to board up the windows and secure the outside of the building. Now, one of the residents I talked to today said she's lost almost everything, but is thankful she has renter's insurance.
There's still the stress of trying to figure out now, where do I move to next? And having to fill that apartment again with a television and furniture and things that you rely on every single day. And with my renter's insurance, I don't have to worry about that. That's going to be taken care of for me.
Today I learned that not everyone who did lose things last night has renter's insurance. And coming up at 5, we'll hear more from the woman we just heard from, how she was able to get out safely and also able to make sure her dog and her late husband's ashes made it out of her apartment safely. That's coming up later at 5.
All right, we'll see you then. Adam Duxter reporting live from the Bureau at the Janesville Gazette. Thank you.
Senators continue to review a confidential FBI report into allegations of sexual assault against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. The process could determine whether President Trump's pick gets a seat on the high court. Nicole Killian has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The Senate must do its job.
Senate Republicans fiercely defended Brett Kavanaugh's character following the release of an FBI report into allegations of sexual assault against Kavanaugh.
Nobody is supposed to be guilty until proven innocent in this country.
Throughout the day, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle took turns privately reviewing one copy of the report.
In plain English, what I just read, there are hints of misconduct.
The FBI's expanded background check excluded key witnesses like Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, who testified last week that Kavanaugh attempted to sexually assault her when they were both teenagers.
Every alleged eyewitness or partygoer that she has named has either denied her allegations or failed to corroborate them.
Republicans here on Capitol Hill are pushing for a confirmation vote. Democrats are calling for the FBI report to be made public.
We can't discuss it. The public's not going to get it. What are they afraid of?
It's still unclear if Republican Senators Susan Collins, Jeff Flake, and Lisa Murkowski, all swing votes, will support President Trump's pick.
We are fully confident after reviewing this information, senators are going to be comfortable voting yes.
A vote to move Kavanaugh's nomination to the full Senate is expected Friday. A final vote could come as early as Saturday.
In Washington, Nicole Killian for WISC News 3.
President Trump tweeted his support for Kavanaugh this morning. The president will appear at a rally tonight at 6:30 in Rochester, Minnesota.
The upcoming vote on the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court has fueled a divide across this country. Protesters organized by the Center for Popular Democracy began their rally at the U.S. District Court, where Judge Kavanaugh currently works, then marched to the Supreme Court. A lot of money is going into ad campaigns on both sides in hopes of persuading swing senators. The ACLU created an ad comparing Kavanaugh's denial of sexual assault with denials made by Bill Clinton and Bill Cosby. Kavanaugh supporters, like the Judicial Crisis Network, are outspending liberals with their own ad campaign, and Kavanaugh has strong support from Republican lawmakers.
A South Carolina city is stunned after a gunman ambushed police, killing one and wounding 6 others. The officers were shot while serving a search warrant at a home in Florence, South Carolina. The suspect, 74-year-old Fred Hopkins, opened fire on the officers at the home and at officers that were responding as backup.
This is a hard and difficult day for us. At approximately 4 p.m., suspect inside the residence opened fire on the investigators. 3 of our deputies were shot.
Police officer Terrence Caraway died in the gunfire. He had just celebrated 30 years on the force. The suspect held children hostage while barricading himself inside the home. The standoff lasted 2 hours before the suspect surrendered.
Well, coming up, some alarming statistics about what could happen to you when taking selfies.
And Emmy Fink is here with Weekend 608. She'll tell us what's going on around town this fall weekend, and Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
Is it Welcome back to Wisconsin. The Washington Post, that is, reports on a study that shows more than 250 people worldwide have died while taking selfies in the last 6 years.
News reports were analyzed by the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. The leading cause was drowning. That was followed by transportation-related deaths and falling from heights. India had the most selfie deaths, followed by Russia and the U.S.
Interesting. Renewed fears of inflation took their toll on Wall Street, snapping a 5-session winning streak. The Dow Industrials lost 200 points, closing at 26,627. The NASDAQ Composite Index gave up 145. The S&P 500 was down almost 24. Speaking of almost, it's almost the weekend in the 608.
We're getting there slowly but surely. And Emmy Fink is here with a look at what's going on in a fall weekend in Madison. Hello.
Hi, Emmy.
Hello, good to see you guys. Like you said, fall weekend.
Yeah, they're fun stuff.
My favorite weekends.
I love fall.
Oh, me too. Can't get any better.
We got a funny thing with a different name.
Exactly. So it's a long-running name. You guys know it. Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh, I love that show.
Me too. But they changed the name, and it's now Who's Live Anyway? That's going to take some getting used to. You can watch the same cast of funny men. They're going to make up 90 minutes of on-the-spot comedy gold out of audience suggestions. That's when you know they're really good.
Yeah.
They really can't plan anything.
Yep.
It's amazing. That's tonight, 7:30 at Overture Hall.
Yeah, they're very talented.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
they sure
fun.
are.
Gallery night is back.
It is, and for the 30th year. I can't believe it's been going on 30 years. So it's grown into a citywide event. It's locally produced art, and it's all organized by the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art. So dozens of venues, from coffee shops to storefronts and the museum itself, they will all display the art Friday from 5 until 9. And then Amoco will also host in its lobby an after party from 9 until 11 with music, food, drink, activities. And while you're there, there's a new exhibit in the Garver Gallery to make sure to check out.
It's always a great night.
Oh, and it's literally all night long. You can go and expect some fun.
Go from gallery to gallery.
You got it.
All right, it's Saturday night, something going on.
There is something other than the Badger game?
Well, the Badger game's moved to 6:30, but if you're not going to that.
If football doesn't interest you, how about this? There's 25 artists that are going to take part in the 5th annual Latino Art Fair, also going on at the Overture Center, Saturday from 5 until 9. So it's put on by the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Dane County, and the event's going to feature paintings, jewelry, spoken word, and Afro-Peruvian music performances, as well as some social justice artwork.
Oh, very nice. Well, here's something for the whole family, a classic tale.
All right, you guys know the quote, "You have been my friend, and that in itself is a tremendous thing."
Yes.
Oh, how sweet.
I really could cry if I think too hard about the movie. Miss Charlotte the Spider herself said that. And for the next 3 weekends, young actors from around Madison will bring to life Charlotte's Web, the classic story of the heroic spider who saves Wilbur the piglet's life. The Children's Theater of Madison production is at Overture's Playhouse Friday at 7, Saturday at 2:30, and then Sunday again at 2:30. I mean, really, I used to show pigs in 4-H, so pigs have like a very real meaning.
We're going to lose her here.
I know, she's going to cry.
No, I'll keep it together. I'll keep it together.
All right, and
Little Wilbur.
boy, a big-time author coming to town.
Oh, huge name. And you guys are, I mean, really, you have the best interview of all.
We're going to talk to him tomorrow.
He'll be on Live at 4 tomorrow.
Right there, Mr. James Patterson. So you can go down and have a little Sunday brunch downtown before seeing the James Patterson himself. Overture's Capitol Theater, and it's part of the Wisconsin Book Festival. So the Guinness World Record holder for the author with the most #1 New York Times bestsellers. I mean, that's quite a title. He's going to be interviewed by Steve Paulson of Wisconsin Public Radio about his Max Einstein series, and that goes on Sunday at 10 o'clock. Kind of a great time of the day, and you know, go to church or go to brunch and then go check it out.
The Max Einstein series is for kids. He's writing children's books now with his wife, and he and his wife will both be here tomorrow at 4.
Oh, that's so cool. You're going to have them both. That's really neat.
All right. Yeah, it is.
He does everything.
He sure does.
Thank you, guys.
So do
Thanks,
you.
Emmy.
Oh,
Thank you.
wow, you make me just feel great. Thank you. Far cry from the truth.
Enjoy the weekend.
You guys too.
Get this month's Madison magazine for all of the best in the Madison area. Well, do you ever check out Google Maps for information about a business or even reviews?
When we come back, don't always believe what you read. We'll find out why and what one business owner is doing about it when Live at 4 continues.
Take a look at this. An unusual gravestone in Russia has been garnering attention for obvious reasons. Standing above the grave of a deceased young woman, it resembles an Apple iPhone. The monument was made with plenty of attention to detail. There's the Apple logo, a photo of the late woman painted on the screen. Gravestone made out of granite costs around $1,200 to make, which is just about the same price as the new iPhone XS Max. One woman, by the way, worked at an Apple store. There's even if you scan that code, you get a link to her website.
That's incredible, actually. It almost looks photoshopped.
I know.
It doesn't look real.
Video looks fake, but I guess she liked her iPhones.
Today is Thursday, October 4th. It is National Golf Lovers Day. In October, isn't that interesting?
I don't know.
The game of golf originated in Scotland. In this country, there were 267 clubs associated with the U.S. Golf Association. In 1910, in 2015, there were over 10,000.
It's a popular game.
Yeah, I love to play.
And it's also National Vodka Day. Can be made from grain. Where's the props?
Yeah, right.
Grains, potatoes, sometimes fruits or sugar. So
cheers.
Enjoy in moderation.
I'll tell you what we really need props for. It's also National Taco Day. Tacos are loved by millions of people every day, hard or soft shell, your choice of toppings. Enjoy those tacos. Tacos originated in Mexico and were discovered by the Spanish at the time of the conquistadors. A lot of restaurants will offer specials for
All right.
Taco Day.
Hard or soft shell?
I'm a soft shell person,
Yeah,
but I
me
like
too.
both, honestly.
Me too.
I like the hard shell.
Do you?
Did you see the new ones where they stand up? They're like
Yeah.
They stand.
Those are pretty cool.
That
The
solves
new
a lot
inventions.
of
We've
that
come a
solves
long way.
I know taco technology just advances
life.
every day.
That's the way it is. But you know what? Enjoy some tacos this weekend, maybe, because you need something positive with the rainfall that we are tracking. An alert day is in our forecast, along with the possibility of flash flooding. We'll be right back. And what a change it has been as we have gone through the past 24 hours. Temperatures are vastly different than they were at this time yesterday. Let's check out yesterday's highs. 84 degrees here in Madison, 91. Yes, 91 degrees in Peru, Illinois. That's central to northern Illinois at that. Lots of mid-80s showed up for those highs yesterday. But temperatures this afternoon are vastly colder. 30 degrees colder here in Madison. Check out Fairmont, Minnesota, 41 degrees colder. That's absolutely insane. That is a true definition of a cold front that roared through our area yesterday, bringing behind it substantially cooler temperatures. It's 54 degrees in town right now, 57 in Janesville, and really all of south central Wisconsin has temperatures that are in the mid to upper 50s. Now we work our way to the north and we see more of those 40s beginning to show their way into the picture. And the fun thing about this is we had full sunshine, so it wasn't like we had a lot of cloud cover that helped keep us cooler. It was sunny and it stayed this chilly, so that goes to show the nature of the air mass that we have in town. As I mentioned, 54 degrees outside right now. The wind's coming out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour. The dew point is at 35, so that shows you just how dry a lot of that air is. Here's the sunshine once again, but you'll notice we have some cloud cover starting to sneak in from the west. That is our next system coming into town. Let's go ahead and show you guys that one. It's over the northern plains right now, bringing, get this, snow to parts of North Dakota. They have some winter weather advisories there, but this rain is working its way towards the east and will eventually impact us right here in south central Wisconsin. So as you guys wake up tomorrow morning, expect some of those showers to be around. We'll get a break in the action, then we'll have heavier rain that moves in as we go into Saturday, and we'll really have to pay close attention to that rain coming in. We do have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall from the Weather Prediction Center. That includes us right here in the city of Madison. So let's zoom in closer to home and take you hour by hour with this. Here we are at 6:30 in the morning. You'll see those showers around as you begin to work your way into work. We'll get a break towards lunchtime, so head out. It'll be cloudy, but there's a break. Once the sun sets, Friday night, 7 o'clock, notice the rain starting to come in right around Grant County. That'll then overspread the region. Here we are at 12:30. You have a wall of heavy rain that is over the area. That is going to last all the way through about 4:30 on Saturday morning. So we're looking at a few hours of the heaviest rainfall really coming down. Here is the model showing just how much rain we could see in that short amount of time. 3 inches and 3/4 of an inch, so just under 4 inches here in Madison, 4 inches and a quarter back to the south and west, over 5 inches in Platteville. This is the reason, folks, that a lot of those flash flood watches are out. We're going to keep those flash flood watches going as we go through the weekend, or at least through tomorrow. But here's the overall pattern that we're dealing with. This dip in the jet stream is bringing in a lot of Pacific moisture, separating the cold air in the north from the warm air in the south. Regions of low pressure are tracking along that. So watch what happens with the rainfall going through tomorrow. We already have our Pacific moisture flow. This region of high pressure is going to work its way over to the south and east just a little bit. That brings in Gulf of Mexico moisture as well, and that's really what's amplifying a lot of those rain chances. But as long as we have that pattern in play, anywhere from the southern plains all the way through the upper Midwest is going to see a very wet pattern going through the coming days. I mean, across parts of Oklahoma and Texas, that is upwards of 5 to 8 inches of rain, which really lines up where the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook is for some of that heaviest rainfall. So do be mindful of that. 44 degrees tonight with increasing clouds. You'll see those rain chances coming in very late. 59 degrees headed into tomorrow. But as we go through the next 7 to 10 days, there are very few days that do not have a rain chance on them. And of course, we do have an alert day for Friday and into Saturday.
But most of the day dry tomorrow?
Most of the day will be dry tomorrow. You'll have some rounds of rain. It is tomorrow night into Saturday that we need to watch.
Wow, you don't need that.
No, we do not.
All right, Chris.
All right, thank you, Chris. More and more people are checking out websites like Google Maps, looking for reviews of businesses.
But it turns out more and more dishonest people are abusing websites that you can edit. One man is fighting back. Arranging unique bouquets is important to this fourth-generation florist in New York City. But Greg Citos has been delivering something else these days, a warning to other businesses.
These greedy wolves are most certainly going to send their pack of overcompensated lawyers my way. so I can get sued for telling the truth.
CEDOS has created web videos to raise awareness about how easy it is to manipulate Google Map listings. He found out the hard way when someone changed his Sunnyside florist listing to closed on his busiest day of the year.
It came to our attention on Valentine's Day this year, 2018, when customers were calling our store right between the heat of the Valentine's Day rush between 5 and 7 o'clock nonstop, asking if we were open. Which, of course, we're open. It's Valentine's Day. We're a florist, the biggest day of the year.
Big technology companies rely a lot on crowdsourced data, everything from Waze's accident notifications to Wikipedia entries. Accessing this vast pool of people-made knowledge requires platforms to be easy to use, but that also makes them easy to abuse, particularly in a competitive business environment. Alex Nuren, a computer science professor, was part of a study funded by Google that looked at how the fake map listings were created and how real business listings were hijacked last year.
Google has a lot of defense mechanisms to prevent people from entering fraudulent information, but as we had covered in our study, determined adversaries can work around many things.
In a statement to the Associated Press, Google said that it has reduced fraud over the years to a very low incident and that they're working to find new ways to fight this behavior. But the problem goes beyond Google. There's also a free map of the world you can edit, OpenStreetMap, where a user made more than 80 anti-Semitic label changes across New York and other places. For CEDOS, it wasn't until he contacted a local congressman's office with a connection to Google that he was able to get his own listing fixed. He says better safeguards need to be in place. He shows how he was able to fool Google Maps into believing his flower shop is home to both CNN and Trump Palace.
And the internet is the wild, wild west, and it's a very fast-changing retail environment, and it's hard to keep up with. But I think it really needs to be regulated, and it does need to become illegal.
A florist fighting back to keep his 78-year-old business alive for a fifth generation. That is really scary.
The wild, wild west is a good way to describe it.
You know, and why would someone do that? I guess a competitor?
Oh,
You don't
what's
mark,
wrong with people?
You don't mark a florist closed on Valentine's Day.
No, you got to be alert and skeptical sometimes.
All right, well, coming up, a popular CBS show has its fall debut on Sunday.
A preview of Madam Secretary. It's a show that features some real-life Washington stars. That's coming up when Live at 4 continues.
I love
pretty shot of the Memorial Union and the lakeshore on this chilly but sunny Thursday. Well, Madam Secretary returns to CBS this Sunday.
The show's 5th season will begin with a bang in more ways than one. Meg Oliver has a preview.
Téa Leoni returns in the title role for the season 5 premiere of Madam Secretary. After a deadly attack on the White House, she seeks guidance from a trio of her real-life predecessors.
We have to make clear that we double down on our commitment.
Former Secretaries of State Madeleine Albright, Colin Powell, and Hillary Clinton appear as themselves in a tense scene in Leoni's office. Leoni says their on-screen sit-down could actually take place.
This is what they do. Secretaries of State reach out, former Secretaries of State reach out to the current Secretary of State, always as an introduction, and to let them know that this is the practice. When you need us, we come together.
Keith Carradine co-stars as President Conrad Dalton. He says the Secretary stayed in character even when the cameras stopped.
I walked over to Secretary Clinton first, and she looked up and she said, "Mr. President." You know, come on. She didn't have to do that, but that's the sense of fun with which they came to play.
These former Secretaries of State were really acting. They were, and they gave everything. It was a sight to see.
Executive producer Lori McCrary says the shoot was easily one of the highlights of Madam Secretary's 5-year run. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
And you can catch Madam Secretary Sunday night right here on CBS. I love that show.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, a year ago, the face of the South Shore of Lake Mendota changed forever. That's when the Alumni Park opened it next to the Memorial Union.
When we come back, we'll show you how the park is celebrating its first birthday, and we'll get some impressions of the 1-year-old when we come back.
Well, happy Thursday. It's 4:45. Lots of folks getting ready to hit the road so they can make their way home. Here's the belt line at John Nolan right now. So in a lot of spots, check out this lane right here. It is slow going, and we're going to expect that as we do just about every day for this time. Here we are out near Seminole Highway. This is going eastbound. That's moving around 13 miles per hour. We get over towards Fish Hatchery. That's moving about 18 miles per hour right now. Downtown, we have backups in our typical spots. And then on Washington, headed away from the Capitol in towards the Capitol, we are seeing some brake lights and some slowdowns there. But the city of Madison is where most of the issues are. Once you get towards the interstates, most roads there are in great shape. Now, if you're going to take the Beltline eastbound from University all the way to I-3990, that's going to take you about half an hour or so. Other main routes do have their typical backups. Verona Road to John Nolan, that's taking you a little over 15 minutes at this time.
All right, Chris, thank you. A 33-foot-long, 7-ton whale got stranded on the shores in Argentina. A group of volunteers, the Navy, Civil Defense, even lifeguards spent 2 days trying to save this gentle giant. They brought in a crane and managed to get a rope around the whale, and a boat pulled it out to deeper water where it swam away. After 28 hours of work, the massive rescue effort paid off.
Oh, I'm glad that had a happy ending.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, let's get an update on the Brewers game.
Sports Director Jay Wilson is in the sports office. Hi, Jay. Any score yet?
Hi, I'm trying to get some work done here, guys.
Sorry.
Sorry to bother you.
No score. They're going to the top of the third inning. Brandon Woodruff, the reliever who started for the Brewers, has retired all 6 Rockies he's faced. The only scoring threat came in the Brewers' bottom of the first inning. They had 2 on, 1 out. A wild pitch by the Rockies. Ryan Braun tried to steal from second. He was out by about 15 feet. So nothing the score as they go to the top of the third at Miller Park.
All right, thanks for the update. Get back to work.
Thank you, Jay.
Well, the Badgers are at home this weekend to take on the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. at Camp Randall Stadium.
But the celebration actually begins on Friday. Tomorrow marks the 1-year anniversary of the opening of Alumni Park on Langdon Street. A big party is planned, and everyone's invited, whether you're going to the game or not.
Mary Carbine is the managing director of the Alumni Park, and she joins us live. Mary, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Can you believe it's been a year already?
I know, it seems like yesterday, doesn't it? We were just at the groundbreaking.
I know, it's hard to believe it's been a year, but we are so grateful to the community and all the alumni who visited. We're really looking forward to our celebration tomorrow.
Tell us about Alumni Park and what you have planned tomorrow for the big party.
Well, Alumni Park is a great green space on the lakefront, and it's also a place that people can learn about UW alumni and the impact of a UW-Madison education. Tomorrow we're celebrating with an open house from 1 to 4, where there'll be family-friendly activities. You can get selfies with our Bucky statue. If you bring the pep, we'll have the props for your selfie. And we're also going to have a birthday celebration at 3 p.m. with cake and a visit from everyone's favorite mascot, Bucky Badger.
So 1 year into this thing, what kind of a reaction have you gotten from people who visited it?
Well, we're so grateful. We've really gotten a lot of support. People are inspired by the park. They love the green space, but they also love that every time they come, they can learn something new about UW alumni. And they love that the exhibits can be viewed day and night because the park's lit up at night. So it's just been wonderful. Really fun to host alumni coming back to campus and people who know some of the people in the exhibits, but it's just been really great, and we're really want to say thanks to the community.
Well, as more and more people graduate, does Alumni Park sort of evolve? Do the exhibits change over time?
Yes, there's the opportunity in some places to refresh or change out some of the exhibits, which we will be doing in future years. And there are also some spaces that were purposely left open so that exhibits could be added in the future. And we also have alumnipark.com, our website, where we feature alums as well.
I've taken some guests from out of town, and we've walked around, and they were amazed at all the grads and all the accomplishments that they've made in this university.
Oh, it's really inspiring, and I feel like I learn something new every time I come into the park, even after a year.
Not to mention, it's one of the best views on campus, too, right there on the lake. It's beautiful.
Yes, yes, and a great place to take a commemorative selfie with Bucky, too.
So a big party tomorrow, starting at 1, did you say?
Yes, an open house from 1 to 4, cake, refreshments, fun, great time for the family.
And hopefully a Badger win this weekend as well. Mary, great,
yeah, kicking off a Badger win.
Yeah, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
All right, happy birthday to Alumni Park. We'll be right back with a final recap of your weather. Is it Well, it was nice to see the sun today, but we got a bad stretch coming up.
I know. For some reason, all these good weather stretches come to a harsh end, but that's right. We have some heavy rain coming our way. We're not going to notice that for the next 24 hours or so. So tonight, we'll have increasing clouds with some light rain developing late. We'll see those lows right around 44 degrees. Into the day tomorrow, we're going to be near 60 for those highs. Mostly cloudy, though. Showers early. Then we'll get a break so you can enjoy lunch free of some of that rain out there. But late tomorrow night, that's when the rain comes back, and that has the potential to be heavy rain as well. We do have alert days Friday night through Saturday morning because flash flooding will be possible along with an isolated severe weather threat. We're looking at a couple inches of rain in a short amount of time. One of the models I just showed you all showed upwards of 2 to 4 inches of rain in some spots within that 12-hour window. Right now, we're going with about 2 inches of rain in our official forecast, but we're really going to have to watch the model trends going through the next couple.
And the Badger game Saturday evening, 6:30.
The Badger game Saturday evening, we might see a few showers around for that as well.
All right. Bring your ponchos. Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris. Coming up tomorrow here on Live at 4, as we mentioned earlier, we're going to meet famed author James Patterson, who's in Madison for the Wisconsin Book Festival.
And our Michael Bruno goes backstage for the Madison Theater Guild's production of Born Yesterday. That's all coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. In today's final touch, a famed astronomical clock once again towers over the city of Prague.
It has stood over the city since 1410.
That's incredible.
Can you imagine? The clock has been a major draw for tourists who gather to catch a glimpse of the rotating 12 apostles that appear with the turning of every hour. City Hall was badly damaged at the end of World War II, as was parts of the clock.